all of our perspectives differ completely how we look at the world. And that perspective is a huge player in where you're going to end up. Because if your mindset's right, your actions will be right. And if your actions are right, the results will produce themselves and come. Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Better Than Yesterday show. My name is Eric Riley, and I'm going to be your host as always. And today I wanted to talk to you guys about beliefs, and in particular self-limiting beliefs that you may hold for yourself, that I held for myself for a long time. But before we get into that, I just want to say, if you enjoy this show at all, if it provides you any value, makes you think a certain way, does anything like that, please make sure to share it with a like-minded friend or on your social media platforms, because that is the only way I am going to grow this show and reach more people, help other people realize their full potential, and provide more value. Just wanted to say that before we hop into the show. Now let's get right into the show. Today we're going to talk about self-limiting beliefs. So first I want to define what is a self-limiting beliefs and why do beliefs in general matter to you. Okay, so a self-limiting belief is an idea that you believe to be true that hinders your ability to succeed. Okay, so why do they matter, right? Why do beliefs matter at all? So our beliefs shape our reality, past, present, and future. Now, you might be listening to me and be thinking like, okay, dude, like I can't just believe 1 + 1 = 3, and that doesn't work. Like I don't just make something that's objectively factual, like 1 + 1 = 2. I can't just change that by holding a belief. And I would agree with you, right? There's an aspect of realism to this that you need to take into consideration, but there are a lot of beliefs that we hold that we ought to question the validity of, because we don't have a lot of evidence to back up what we believe. And those are the ones I want to talk about. So I'm going to give you an example, right? So take two people, right? One believes that life is bleak and meaningless and, just shitty in general. And the other person believes that it's full of opportunity and, they're grateful for the opportunity to even be able to be a human on Earth, right? Because that's an amazing opportunity in itself, in my opinion, right? So take those two people, okay? And you remember how I said, your beliefs shape your past, present, and future. So how will those two people look differently at a past mistake? So the person that views life as bleak and meaningless is probably not going to, first off, they're probably not even going to want to think about their past mistakes, because it's just going to open up a world of emotion and hurt. But let's say they do look at a past mistake, right? And, they think of it, and the only things that they're thinking of is, oh my God, that was so embarrassing. That was so shitty. I felt terrible after that. So humiliating. Like, I never want to think about that again. Like, shut it out of my brain forever. Like, I don't want to ever think about that again. And, they gain nothing from it except they lose, emotional stability, I would say, right? They're now upset when they weren't upset before. And a positive or a, opportunistic person, someone that looks at life as an opportunity and, has a generally positive outlook on their life, is probably going to look at a past mistake and try to find the lesson in it, right? Because they always are thinking in terms of, okay, I made a mistake here. I shouldn't have done what I did. What should I have done? And how can I make sure I don't make the same mistake again? Because everything is an opportunity to learn for them, because they're trying to be better later, right? So let's talk about the present, okay? So let's take those two people. How are they going to look at their present differently? So let's say they wake up in the morning, right? And they're in the moment now. They're in the present. They're not thinking about the past. They're here and now. A person that looks at life, in a negative mindset is going to wake up and they're not going to be motivated to get after it, because life is meaningless. Life is bleak. Like they don't have anything to strive for or push for. They don't have goals. They don't have reasons for doing great things or anything pushing them forward. So why would they want to give it their all today, or go to the gym, or do any of the things that make you a better person if life is ultimately for nothing, right? And then you have the other person, the positive person, the person that sees life as opportunity. How are they going to approach that day? How are they going to approach that differently? They're probably going to wake up and immediately be thinking like, how can I be better today than I was yesterday? Like, what can I do better today? I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to give it my all today at work. I'm going to be better than I was yesterday, because these people ultimately know that they're trying to go further, right? They're trying to be better than they were yesterday and build towards a better tomorrow, which brings me right to the future, right? So let's talk about the future. How is a negative person going to look at the future? It's probably not going to be any different than right now, which is shitty in their mind, right? So if you're looking at your life and you see that you're not making any type of effort to make a change in your life or change the situation that you're in, why would you have a positive outlook on the future? There is no reason that you should, because you're not doing anything to build towards a better future. Your life isn't good now, so why would it be better in the future? There is literally no reason to have a positive outlook on the future if you have a negative outlook on your present. Because if you're not building towards the future, then your future is going to be the same level or worse than your present state. Okay? Think about the other person now. Okay? The positive outlook person. They're busting their ass every day. Like, they're getting after it. They know that they're building towards a better future. Like, they're going to be in better shape. They're going to be better set financially. They're going to have a great emotional state. All these things that they're doing today, they're investing in themselves. They're making investments. They're building a business, or working really hard at their job, and they're building all these great relationships and shit like that. Like, that is all compounding and just building towards a better tomorrow for them in their mind. So obviously they're going to have a positive outlook on the future, and they think things are going to be great because they're going great right now. They're doing the things necessary to build them towards a better tomorrow, whereas the other people are just not. So why would they have a positive outlook on the future? So that's what I mean when I say your beliefs really do shape your reality, because at the end of the day, reality is just the way you see the world, your perception of the world, okay? Reality it's not necessarily objective. Like, if you put three people in a room, all three of those people see the world completely different. So everyone's reality is different, even though we all live in the same world, the same space. All of our perspectives differ completely how we look at the world. And that perspective is a huge player in where you're going to end up. Because if your mindset's right, your actions will be right. And if your actions are right, the results will produce themselves and come. That's why I wanted to bring up the beliefs section first before I go into two self-limiting beliefs that I held for a long time that I want to touch on and sort of debunk and just bring to light, because a lot of people may be, struggling with these beliefs too and trying to unlearn them like I am. So number one, the first belief that I had that I have been trying to unlearn and still struggle every day with is that failure is bad and should be avoided. So here's the problem. So many people, like most people in the world, have this mentality that if I don't try, I can't fail. And since failure is bad and embarrassing and humiliating and should be avoided at all costs, I'm not going to try, so I can't fail. Play it safe, right? Make it like, why would you not want to try? Like, why would you not be trying as much as you can? Even if you're going to fail more, understand that you can only succeed if you try. So if you're not trying enough, you're not going to succeed. It's statistically much more unlikely for you to succeed if you aren't trying more. Like, someone that tries 100 times, fails 95 of them, but succeeds 5, still succeeded more than someone that tried 10 times, failed 9 times, and succeeded 1. Their percentages are less, but they succeeded more because they fucking tried more. Okay? So, like, this is what I'm trying to get at, is, like, make a couple risky investments. Like, who cares if you lose some money? Ask the girl out. Like, ask the guy or girl out. Like, who cares if you get rejected? Like, just fucking try. Like, try more. Okay? So that was one thing that I really struggled with, is, like, I didn't want the embarrassment or humiliation of, like, possibly failing, so I wasn't trying as much as I should have. So, like, I want to say this too, because this is something that Steve Jobs said, and he always used to say, that really stuck with me and, you know, got me thinking along these lines, is, like, when you're on your deathbed, and I'm paraphrasing, when you're on your deathbed and you're looking back, do you want to wonder, like, oh, I wonder if I rolled the dice? Or do you want to be proud of the decisions you made? And that's ultimately the decision between, like, are you going to keep trying? Are you just going to keep at it? Or are you going to say, you know, I don't want to fail. I don't want to be humiliated or feel bad about myself. So I'm just not going to try. Like, I'm comfortable where I am. Okay. So that's the first belief. The second one, another big one for me. Success. So this is what I used to believe, right? Is that success is a trait. Okay. And what do I mean by that? I mean that people believe that successful individuals just have it and that they don't. Okay? As if the success fairy, I love this. This is what Andy Frisell always says, and I love this metaphor. So it's like, people believe that there's some success fairy that, like, goes around just, like, tapping random people in the head, sprinkling them with their fucking pixie dust, and, like, they just didn't get the pixie dust, so they can't be successful. It's as if they didn't do the work to get there. So, like, understand that, like, when you think along the lines of that, which I did for a very long time, it's like your ego trying to rationalize, like, it's okay that you're not successful. Like, those people are just lucky and, like, inherited that, and they didn't have to do the work. Like, you're doing enough work. Like, you're trying hard enough. You're just not, you just don't have it like them. Like, if you remove ego from the equation, it's so clear that these people worked their ass off to get to the position they're in. They did not get tapped on the head by any success fairy or anything like that. Like, they busted their ass, and they invested in themselves day in and day out to get to where they're at. So stop trying to believe that these people just have it and you don't. Because the fact of the matter is, they're regular people that worked hard just like you can. And that's great news for you, right? Like, yeah, you might have to work hard, but they're living examples of what it takes to win in this, like, in the field that you want to be in. So, like, I heard this another time too, and it really stuck with me too. It was like, if you could copy anyone's life, like copy paste into your own life, like, that'd be great, right? But that's like possible almost. Like, if you try to model your life after, you know, successful individuals that you respect and look up to, like, try to copy what they did. Like understand that you might have to make adjustments for your own situation, but there is no shame in looking at someone that is where you want to be and taking pointers from their life. Like, that's a smart thing to do. Why would you not be doing that? And you know, so many people choose to believe that it's just not possible for you to have the level of success that your idols have, and that's just not true. Like, you absolutely can reach that point. You just need to put in the work and understand that the work's not easy to put in. Like, it's gonna take a lot of time, and you're gonna have to bust your ass. But you can get to that point if you are willing to put in the work. So, guys, those are the 2 self-limiting beliefs that I have for you. I implore you to think about some other beliefs that you hold that may not be as valid as you believe them to be. Like, what are some things that you were taught either through your parents, your friends, your school, the news, anything like that? Like, what are some things that you've been conditioned to believe that may or may not be true. Start questioning them and start actually trying to verify them. Like, are they true? Should I actually believe this? Or is this actually just a bunch of bullshit that's been like fed to me all my life? So that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you have an awesome week, and I will talk to you all next week. Have a great day.